Hello everybody, this is Misfit from the Coop guys with more Factorio. As you can see here, I have completely dismantled the old setup we had once had for manufacturing stuff and researching things, and gotten rid of it entirely. It was ugly, it was only meant to last a certain while, and we have now moved on. Um, we have got some big plans for this episode. First thing I want to point out is that I have finally tapped into this massive iron deposit, and I've got that hooked up ready to go. I have also used the last of my turrets to bolster the defences of this wall because the iron mine is going to attract a lot of attention. There still is some more iron on the top left there, but I shall get to that in due course. I've also reopened this old copper mine. This is like our emergency reserve. I'm just going to clear it actually. So I've got some mines here that are going to be running along that, and when that runs out, this previous copper mine storage that I've got going here will feed the rest of our copper until I try and probably take advantage, camera freak out, of this copper up here. But as you can tell, our resources are starting to get further and further away from us, so we're going to have to deal with that eventually. I have also reversed the smelting setup here. Before we were going right to left, now we're going left to right. And I've got all the iron and the coal and everything else hooked up. All of the furnaces are backed up again, and we have got plenty of iron and copper to play with. And steel. We're full up on steel too. So what are we doing today, and what on earth is this bizarre snaky setup I have here? Well, this is the beginning of our full-on production line. Beyond this line here is where we are going to start making things properly in full mass production, and we're going to go a little bit overboard as well, just to make sure we don't run out. So all of these belts here, if any of you have seen Zisto's video, this is a very similar idea to what he had, where everything is going to be made of a main bus line. So everything that we have, we're going to, all the resources we have, we're going to build along this center line and expand outward from there, and anything we make is going to get added and sent along with it. So first thing we're going to, in our resource line is coal, and I'm basically just going to pump through all the coal that passes through the smelting setup. I just need to reconnect these belts here, and then all that coal will meet up here. It will get buffered out, and it will transport along this center line here. The copper is going to link up here and here, and it's going to get buffered out. It's going to get split a couple of times, and we're having 3 dedicated lines for copper. I will explain that in a minute. This is why we're having 3 lines, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the iron here. So we've got our copper coming in here, our coal coming in the center, and the iron at the top here. And we're also going to have our steel coming down, because it's also something you need quite a lot in different builds. Builds and recipes and things like that. So the steel is going to come down here. This one line here I have not hooked up to anything at the moment. I've just got it coming here as a kind of a placeholder. But eventually we're going to have our stone coming in the center here. So all of our resources are going to carry on down this center line, and I've even got a little power line going down here in the middle. I was actually contending putting the large poles in here, but you know what? I didn't want to have to put this stuff underground every now and again. I might still do, but I've got a power line coming down the middle here, which is great. So what are we doing with all this? Well, 2 of the main things that you need to make a lot of in this game is iron gear wheels and copper plates. No. Iron gear wheels and copper wire. That's what I meant to say. So we are going to be setting up a lot of assemblers for that. Just trying to plan out exactly where to put them. I haven't thought this through too much. But we're going to have a line of stuff coming up here. One of our one basically we need so many iron gear wheels and copper plates that we are actually going to have basically 2/3 of our iron and copper fitting directly into it. Why are these not balancing correctly? Oh, it is actually. I'm just reading it wrong. So 2/3 of our iron is going to be made into iron gear wheels, auto save, and 2/3 of our copper plates are going to be made into copper wire. The remaining third is going to carry along the center here, and it will be the resources for the future. So let's see here. We're gonna have a setup like this. Where basically we're going to have 2 lines of our resource going up the outside, and our product is going to come down the middle. So, just trying to see if I've actually left enough room for this. So, the end result, we want it to come out here. I'm just going to work this back to front here. The main reason for that is so I can figure out exactly how much space this is going to take up. Boom. Okay, so there's our thing there. Yeah, probably should have paid more attention to this off camera. Because I spent a lot of time just getting everything ready to record this. I didn't actually think about recording it itself. So let's just put the assemblers here, and each of these manufacturing bays is going to have a lot of assemblers. Let's see, that's 8. Let's go for 16. You're thinking, what on earth am I doing? 16 of these things just for the iron gear wheels. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take half of these back out. Don't worry, I am not getting rid of them. I'm just going to move them over here. It should have cleared the trees. It's alright, I can cut through them with my very speedy axe. I'm going to have another resource line coming up the side. And we are going to add more assemblers here. Just because. We're going to need a lot of these things, and I'm building this stuff out so that, well, we're going to need probably, I imagine, like 30 or 40 of these things just for iron gear wheels in the long run. So I'm just going to set up 2 of these bays like this just now. So they're going to be 4 tall with some assemblers, well, 2 assemblers feeding 1 line. And what this is going to do, the way I'm designing this now is that we can expand them in the future if necessary. So we've got 4 on each side right now. Later on, we're getting attacked like nothing else. The top right wall is starting to take damage as well. So the way I've got it here is that later on, should I require more, I built that the wrong way. Should I require more iron gear wheels, instead of having to make an entirely new setup, all I have to do is build up. So I just have to expand it with some more assemblers to accommodate the task. Right now, I'm just going to do it like this. So this iron is going to go into this assembler line, I think. And how are we going to get you over here? Which is where you need to be. How are we going to do that? In a nice manner. what we could do actually is just have it run up here and split off. Do that and bring that underground here. Like that. So there we go. So that's our first set of iron going to go up there. The second set is going to go with the next assembler array. Should I have just done the top one for that? I think I should have just done that for the top one. Let's change that. Get the top one fitting the first one. Oh, okay. Over here. That way we can do that. And then... Sorry, I'm not talking much. I'm trying to think about what I'm doing. And I want to... let's just leave that there. Okay, so our first set of iron is going to go up into those two bays. The second set is going to be a bit tricky because of what the iron gear wheel product coming out to replace it. Unless I get rid of this. Actually, let's just keep the belt there. So we'll have that coming along here. We'll split that. Put this first one up here. And have this going up there. So that'll be our second iron. Hooked up, ready to go. Now this... we will bring this away. Shove it under that track. And we'll have it join up with this here, I think. So we'll do that. And we'll balance it out. Actually, I need you up one, like there. So I can do that. Balance it out. And like that. Get rid of you. And put you along there. And then you can... I'm gonna move this up one. Like that. Bring the iron over there. It's hard to imagine this. This is how you build in this game. You plan it out in your head. So even you're just following the line of the belts and hope that you've not messed up somewhere. So, and even though I'm saying that this is iron gear wheels and all that sort of stuff, you can't see that. That's just in my head. But trust me, hopefully it will work. We don't need that going underground anymore. So let's just put a regular belt back. Now we need to hook up power. So let us... we could... actually, no, we can't power it from there because we need some on the outside for the inserters. So let's just give it a little bit of extra room like that. And let's do the same here. And we're going to need some power in the middle. We'll just have it on the right. Now, I've also I've decided I am no longer going to use the regular inserters unless I think it's going to be more beneficial. So we're going to use fast inserters. And actually, just thought, I want to move these out one. Because of the wonderful things she does. Reason why is because these things, in order to make the iron gear wheels, needs 2 iron plates and takes half a second. So we want to basically just shove as many iron plates in there as quickly as we can. We probably only need 2 per assembler, but who knows? We'll play with it and we'll see what happens. If we need more, we have the room to add another inserter in there. And if we ever upgrade to the top tier, iron gear wheel thing, then that will be great too. Um, top tier assembler. That's what I wanted to say. So just shove all these in there, and these are now going in the middle because I don't want to move that pole. Oh. And another autosave. Wow, I've been going for over 10 minutes already. Okay, so this whole thing's going to take some time, especially because I didn't plan ahead. Let's put some light in this situation. Pop another one there, and another one there, and we'll add another one over here, and another one up here. So, just to make sure that this thing is working, shift, yeah. There we go. So all of that is hooked up. Let's get some power, like that. Except I want to be able to see the splitter just because I like watching the splitters work. And let's get some iron in there. So this is going to be the first like dedicated iron line to iron gear wheel. And there we go. Just like that. So that's going to be manufacturing that. And we also need to do the same thing over... Oops. Need to do the same thing over here. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. I was getting my shift clicks wrong. You don't want to get your shift clicks wrong. So this is going to make a ridiculous amount of iron gear wheels, but it's a good thing because we're going to need a ridiculous amount of iron gear wheels. Pretty much everything mechanical in the game needs iron gear wheels. In not just the initial stage, but every stage of its production. Like these inserters need iron gear wheels a couple of times. The larger inserters need some iron gear wheels at certain times in its in their construction. So why not just make billions of them? And let's just get some power going there. Almost, not quite. There we go. And let us hook up the second iron here. So that's going to come along, split, go up there. Excellent. Ideally, I would like to load balance this one here, and I might just do that now. Just to make sure that things are being made equally. And then up here like that. And pick up the crap. Just so that everything is working. Oh, no, I said pick up the crap. There we go. So that's pumping through. And this one's going to get load balanced with this one anyway. So, there we go. So we are now able to manufacture tons of iron. In fact, this thing is quick enough already that it's not... that our iron production is not able to keep up, I don't think. Which is good, because later on we'll be upgrading our smelting setup, and most importantly we're going to upgrade our belts, because that is going to be slowing things down. Because these are the slowest belts that you can make, and they are slow. As if they're slow, then resources don't get transported fast enough. They don't get transported fast enough, then your manufacturing cannot reach its full potential. So that's our little iron gear wheel bay. Just as a little added thing, something I like doing in some of these lines is just the ability to just shove the stuff back on. So, and because sometimes I'm like, no, I'm just going to leave it like that. So we've got somewhere to dump our spare iron gear wheels. So give me a second off camera. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the copper, and we'll move on to something else, I think. Alright, as you can see here, the copper wire, my words are failing me today. The copper wire setup has been set up. The copper wire has now been set up now. Oh my gosh. So many duplicate words. So it's pretty much exactly the same as the Metal Gear wheels. Copper wire, making a whole bunch of copper wire. I've also added a chest just as to buffer up a little bit of copper wire, and one for the Metal Gear wheels, just in case I need to craft a whole bunch of things. I don't have to stand and pick them up off a belt. I can just grab them from the chest and they'll refill later on. I've also got a couple of other things set up here. Let's see, we're going to need to get some iron up this way, but I'm also going to have to shove this thing underground and pick them up, just so that I can get the iron up this way. And what this setup here is going to make is we're going to make some pipes. There we go, pipes. And we're going to need a few, not now, but we will need them later on, because we don't need a lot of pipes in placing, but we do need them in manufacturing later on. And something we'll need a little bit of later is iron sticks. Not too much. The other thing the iron sticks are really useful for is like repair packs. No, they don't need don't need them in repair packs, but you do need them for lamps, and we also need them for a few other things later on. So that's not what I wanted. I wanted iron sticks. There we go. So we're now producing pipes and iron sticks all by itself. So they are just going to carry on their merry way along this line. And as I go, as you can tell, as I go along, I'm expanding the conveyor belt so that the resources continue. Oh, I put them in the wrong place. Just so that the things I'm producing are readily available for manufacturing purposes later on down the road. And one of those things that we're going to need a lot of as well is electronic circuits. So we are going to have to split this as again. Put that there. And take out some of the belts we just put in, because I need to get some iron down here. Yep, this should do perfectly actually. Except it won't. It's a complete mess and a debacle, and everything that shouldn't be on the belt is. Let's just pick all this crap up off the floor. And move this over one there. That's what I wanted. Have to move these again. And I'm going to space these underground belts out as much as I can. I don't need to... Oh, autosave again. I don't need to do this, but having the extra room means that you can add in things later on without having to worry too much about space, because space can become a problem when you're making things as intricate as these can become. I do, however, bring this one back up early so that I can split it. Oh, this is going to look nasty. Wrap the copper wire back around and bring it down here. Because as I said, we're going to be making our electronic circuits in this little setup. We're going to need a lot of these in the future. This is just for starters. This one is going to be expandable, just like the copper wire and the Metal Gear wheels. And I've got a chest set up here for when I need to craft a few things. So, these take a lot of copper wire, and I am not entirely sure these are going to be able to keep up. They should do, but we'll see. And I've also going to put in a long arm here, just to pick up the iron from the far belt, and that's going to start crafting up our electronic circuits. And how long do they take to make? Half a second. So one of these guys should be able to keep up with that. Put that there. And I'm going to have to do the same thing over here. So let's get the iron first. Iron is going to come up from here. So let us do that and get that iron coming down. And I'm going to need the copper wire coming down to this part here. And I'm going to shove that other copper wire main line underground so it comes out the other side. Shove some more inserters here. And Bob is your bona fide auntie. We have got a full-blown electronics factory going. So we got electronic circuits being manufactured like crazy. And that's going to take a while to fill up, which is nice. Let's just get this going underground too. There we go. The one issue with this kind of setup is that you've got to shove a lot of these belts underground. Yeah, I could put the center one underground, but I would have to put a couple on the side underground as well, so I figured might as well just send them underground and keep these ones just going straight, just for the sake of it. That one is not connected, so let us fix that like that. So pretty quickly we have set up a whole bunch of manufacturing stuff, and one of the main reasons for doing this is that as you want to manufacture more complex things, it's a lot easier because the products that you need to build are already on this sort of central line. So all you really need to do is, as opposed to setting up a whole bunch of factories for, like, let's say I wanted to make, I don't know, I wanted to set up something to make these. As opposed to setting up a whole bunch of factories or assemblers, so you pump in iron and copper, and then they get turned into electronic circuits, and then the copper would get turned into copper wire, and then the copper wire get combined with the iron to make the electronic circuits, and then you would also have to turn the iron into iron gear wheels, and then combine all of them with iron plates to make the inserters, and then the inserters get combined with more iron plates and more electronic circuits to mean all that sort of complicated stuff. As opposed to just doing that, I can just put, if I wanted to make fast inserters, I would just need to pull off a line from the center, which has iron plates, electronic circuits, and inserters. We're not making inserters yet, but we very soon will be. So this is the beginning of our main manufacturing stuff. This is just the initial stuff, just to get it set up and on a roll. We're going to be expanding this one next time. We're already starting to run into the wall. Only because I left some space here, because in the future I do plan on redesigning our smelting setup, and it's likely going to need a lot more room. I could build it over here, but it's pretty tight there. And I'm going to have a lot of resources coming in through here, so I want plenty of room to maneuver them. So I'll just expand the smelting setup over here, because we've got plenty of room. Excuse me. We're also going to have to do something about these freaking aliens down here, because there are so many. There is a lot of large ones down there now. They keep on attacking this wall, and they have actually breached it. So this inner wall is starting to take some hits, and the most annoying thing is, if I go down there, like, every time I try to go down and repair this wall, if I go into this area, they just come in massive waves, and it just triggers an attack rather than actually preventing one. So we're gonna have to do something about these guys pretty soon, because it's kind of interfering with our plans. So before we do that, we're gonna have to get some more manufacturing going, which we'll probably do in the next episode. So that's it from me today. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.